today's presentation is something I have, ये ऐसा एक न्यूज़ है. मुझे हमेशा लगता है कि जो हम पर्सनल फाइनेंस करते हैं ना, इसमें सीखने के लिए बहुत कुछ होता है. एंड it'll take decades to learn. हम लोग कब से ट्रेनिंग कर रहे हैं, पढ़ाते हैं, लिखते हैं, फिर भी ऐसे कई चीज होते हैं जो अचानक समझ में आता है, पहले नहीं पता था. तो I came across couple of things like that which was completely new and even I was not aware of it. और मैं जब वो ऑब्जर्व किया, I realized that it's a huge opportunity for all of us. Huge opportunity not only to do good business, but a huge opportunity to change the society, to help people. Okay, and it's all to do with financial freedom. Not only that, हम लोग financial freedom की बातें करते हैं, but there is a huge barrier also. There is a big risk also in it. And I wanted to discuss that also. I'm not saying risk in becoming financially free, but हमको अगर लगता है कि financially free हम हो जाएंगे आराम से easily, तो वहाँ पे कहाँ what can be a problem is what we will discuss. And maybe some of you all know about it, but I found it very, very fascinating. And therefore, I requested my team that allow me to make a presentation today in the Pathshala. So, मैं presentation start करता हूँ अभी. There is like always, I have created a calculator. तो आपको कुछ ना कुछ देना चाहिए. So I will give you the calculator. But as I said, every time you all, I'll open a group, and in that group I will put the calculator. Those people who are enthusiastic will join the group and get the calculator. So let's start the presentation. This is the calculator which I'll come to this later on. Can you all see my screen? Is it seen?
Yes.
Yes. So now let us, we all are talking about financial freedom these days, and it is actually the right thing to discuss about. कल ही हम ये न्यूज़ हमने सुना कि मार्क जकरबर्ग ने कुछ 13% स्टाफ को फायर कर दिया. That 13% is a huge number. Okay, then उसके पहले ट्विटर वालों ने फायर कर दिया लोगों को. अब पता नहीं कितने लोग फायर करेंगे. Okay, so jobs are not what jobs used to be during our parents' time. और अगर आप 13% कंपनी को फायर करते हो तो इसमें तो कोई अप्रेजल या कोई अच्छा बुरा उसकी तो बात ही नहीं हो रही है. अब ये जो लोगों को फायर किया गया, दे मस्ट बी MBAs फ्रॉम वेरी हाई क्वालिटी इंस्टीट्यूट्स. कोई फॉरेन से पढ़ाई किया होगा, कोई इंडिया से पढ़ाई किया होगा. एंड ऐसे भी लोग हैं जो एकदम हाईली क्वालिफाइड है, बट दे जस्ट लूज देयर जॉब फॉर नो फॉल्ट ऑफ देयर्स. और ये ज्यादा होते ज्यादा, इट इज इंक्रीजिंग. मैं आई हैव कम अक्रॉस लॉट ऑफ पीपल इन देयर 40s कि अचानक जॉब चला गया. Okay, for no fault of theirs. Okay, so this is happening. आजकल के फिल्म्स और वेब सीरीज में भी यही दिखाते हैं कि अचानक जॉब चला गया. ये स्टार्टअप कल्चर का ऑपोजिट साइड यही है. Okay, the hire and fire, the kind of scenario आ गया है. तो फाइनेंशियल फ्रीडम क्लियरली एक एरिया है जो ये पर्टिकुलर पीरियड के लिए बहुत ही इंपॉर्टेंट है. ओवर द लास्ट 5-10 years it has started. We are talking about financial freedom, but I think going forward for the next 10 to 15 years, this is going to be a very important part of life. And from an advisor's point of view, it is extremely important because not only this is a place where we can help, guide, and take care of clients, but also it is a good revenue generating model because it's more of a SWP dependent model than an SIP dependent model. So what is financial freedom? I saw this picture. यहाँ पे ये building में most of the people are financially free. Okay, they are all relaxing, sleeping. एक corner में कोई ना कोई काम कर रहा है. Okay, और मुझे मेरे I am not saying Tata Mutual Fund में मुझे इतना काम नहीं होता था, but before that I was in advertising और मैं रोज घर रात को 12 बजे वापस आता था. सुबह 9-10 बजे जाते थे, रात को 10-11-12 बजे आते थे. And I almost worked like that for almost a 10 to 12 year period. और ऐसे ही होता था. हम लोग we used to work in Express Towers at Nariman Point और हमारी लाइट ऐसी चालू रहती थी और बाकी सब घर जाके आराम करके they watching TV. Now this is when you are in like this, you feel you are in a jail. Okay, और ये जो लोगों को अभी फायर किया गया और जो अभी जितने भी लोग काम कर रहे हैं उनको भी लगता होगा यार मुझे कल फायर कर सकते हैं, तो वो लोग भी ऐसा ही काम करते होंगे. चलो लेट मी वर्क मोर नंबर ऑफ आवर्स, तो शायद मैं फायर नहीं होता हूँ. इट इज लाइक यू आर लाइक बकरीज. ओके, कितने बकरी को काटना है तो वो रैंडमली उठाते हैं, जो कटेगा और बाकी रह जाएगा तो एक दिन रहने को मिलेगा. तो दिस इज हाउ इट्स बिकम. So people are working extra hours, and when they work extra hours, they can't take care of their health. आपको क्या लगता है जो आदमी कैबिन में बैठ के काम कर रहा है लेट नाइट को, उसको एक्सरसाइज करने को टाइम मिलता होगा, वो वॉक पे जाता होगा, वो ट्रेडमिल, ही मस्ट नॉट बी डूइंग ऑल दोस थिंग्स, उसको टाइम ही कहाँ है? ओके, सो फाइनेंशियल फ्रीडम जो है, इट इज basically freedom from all kinds of slavery. So you don't want to be slave of people, you don't want to be the slave of time, and you don't want to be slave of any one particular work. तो हम opposite इसका अगर सुनना चाहोगे, तो I would like to work with the people I love. I will like to work during the time that I feel is meant for work, and I'll have control over my time. If I have to do some exercises, that is priority. Health is important. So I will. So my time is in my control. And finally, I like to do the work that inspires me, जो मेरे को अच्छा लगता है. Okay, so this is nothing but financial freedom. And friends, I can tell you that when I was 40, or even when I was 40, 45, when I had started, and before that also, while I was working also in Tata Mutual Fund for almost 10 years, financial freedom was hardly a concept. हम लोग हमेशा goal-based planning, goal-based planning, goal-based planning करते थे. But this is the biggest goal today. Okay, if I were to take this discussion further, goals pay, you know, this is education, marriage, car, house, retirement. We grew up with this kind of structure in mind. Or here retirement was 60 years and house, car. So now in the chat box, I would like some participation. Now there are good 150 odd people. So I would like some participation in the chat box. How many of you all think, I mean, are these goals very relevant goals today? Are they very relevant goals? Well, I can't see the chat box. Unfortunately, I can't see the chat box. So what are people saying? Can Abhilasha or someone help me to?
The maximum people saying no or some extent.
To either it is to some extent or it is not so relevant. And trust me, this is what we were taught over the last 15-20 years. SIP करो एजुकेशन के लिए, 1-2 साल पहले भी इस पे बहुत फोकस हुआ करता था. मेरे हिसाब से मैरिज इज हार्डली अ गोल. ओके, हार्डली अ गोल. ओके, स्पेशली इन अपर मिडिल क्लास और इवन लोअर मिडिल क्लास, इट्स नॉट अ बिग गोल. वो डाउरी जैसा सिचुएशन है ही नहीं अभी, वो खत्म हो गया. तो यू डोंट, then buying a car in today's world is again not a very big goal. Okay, house, again the new generation might inherit houses or the money, if they can sell the parents' house, wo bhi hoga. So jis tarah se the world is moving ahead, people may have a car, a house, they may have a marriage which they don't need to spend too much on. People have to be educated and they will get educated, and there's a lot of options coming up. And unfortunately retirement jo hai na, retirement पहले जो 60 साल का था, अभी यही रिटायरमेंट 40 साल पे आ गया है, और उसको हम फाइनेंशियल फ्रीडम बोलते हैं. सो वी नीड टू चेंज आवर थिंकिंग. एंड जिस तरह से इफ यू सी बॉलीवुड मूवीज, उनकी थीम चेंज होती रहती है, इस तरह से हम लोग का भी काम का थीम चेंज करना पड़ेगा, बिकॉज वी आर हेल्पिंग सोसाइटी एंड सोसाइटी कीप्स चेंजिंग. So what are the new kind of goals, okay, that are coming? One is lifetime education. So now education has become, you need to have a corpus to support education. And I think Swami sir has so many times mentioned, जो इन स्वामी सर को जानते हैं और जिन्होंने MFP, UFP किया है, जो हमारे साथ जुड़े हुए हैं for a long time, how many times Swami sir has said that I spent 40 lakhs rupees on my education? Okay, he didn't spend that 40 lakhs rupees when he was 20 years old. He spent it when he was around 35 years old or 36 years old. So this is called lifetime education. You need to have a corpus. You need to have a cash flow to support your education, because the world is changing very fast. जो marketing पहले हुआ करती थी, वो marketing अब नहीं होती है. जो financial planning पहले हुआ करती थी, आज नहीं हो रही है वैसे. Okay, so the goal-based planning, which was so important because there were so many important goals, now most of the goals are not looking so important. Okay, holiday, pleasure, lifetime holiday, experiences, these are becoming very, very important. And no doubt, financial freedom, in my mind, is the most important goal. Financial freedom is the foundation stone of your life. It is the bedrock of your life. Once you are got your financial freedom in place, उसके बाद आप holiday करो, आपको मस्ती करना है मस्ती करो, आप गाड़ी खरीदना है, घर खरीदना है, जो भी करना है. But first and foremost, you need to have your financial freedom, which also means that financial freedom को जल्दी हासिल करना important है. There is no point getting, if you get financial freedom at the age of 60, it is retirement. Okay, but by that time you may not be at a job for that long. Okay, so financial freedom at 50 also is a bit late. You need to be financially free by the time you are 40 or 42, 43, and still better if 35. Okay, so ये हो सकता है, खुद भी कर सकते हैं through SIP, और अगर किसी को support मिलता है family से तो थोड़ा बहुत lump sum किया तो जल्दी हो सकता है. So this is a very, very important requirement in today's life. नहीं तो यही सोचो ना आज what must be going in the minds. हमको तो we don't realize it ना, because we were earning trail income. हमको even the COVID में इतना तकलीफ नहीं हुआ cash flow में. Okay, because we kept on earning from our past efforts. But so many people lost their jobs. Imagine the people who have lost their jobs at Facebook yesterday or day before yesterday. How they must be feeling today, how their family must be feeling today. हमारे सामने एक बड़ा number है. Okay, but each number is each life, one family, aspirations. Okay, they may come back, they may get a job again and they'll again, no doubt. But सोचिए क्या, what they are going through. And this is the reality of today's time. When हम लोग जब job करते थे या मेरे father जब job करते थे, ऐसी होती नहीं थी चीज. There suddenly so many people getting sacked and all those things was not even heard of. ये कभी नहीं हुआ करती थी. But this is happening now. Okay, so let's move on. So most important goal clearly is financial freedom. I will not repeat this. So what are the challenges for financial freedom? तो अगर आप challenges देखने जाएंगे तो basically challenges ये है कि lack of understanding. लोगों को ये होता ही क्या है समझते नहीं. Okay, very few people understand में पैसे में इतना power है कि वो आपको cash flow forever दे सकती है. ये thought भी जो है ना लोगों के दिमाग में नहीं आता है. वो तो ऐसा कैसा हो सकता है, खत्म हो जाएगा ना. आप कोई भी जगह से if you consume anything, if you have a water tank और वहां से आप पाइप लगाते हो and you start drinking water, it gets over. Okay, how that this will never get over. I can keep drinking water and I can keep taking out a supply forever. ऐसा ये thought process ही लोगों को समझाने में time लगता है और लोग समझते नहीं, जानते नहीं. दूसरा है कि insensitive to aging, कि हम लोग सब बूढ़े हो रहे हैं और हम इसके बारे में हम sensitive नहीं है. कि if somebody is working very hard at 25, वो ये सोचता है कि मैं ऐसा ही रहूंगा रोज रोज. Okay, somebody is doing well at 30, 32, he thinks tomorrow is the same as today. And even after 10 years, I'll be successful. Nobody is thinking that he will become irrelevant. Nobody is realizing the passage of time. You see yourself on the mirror every day, you don't look old. But I will just request you to see a photograph of yours taken just 5 years back. And you will see how old you have become. And this is everybody. अब 5 साल, 10 साल पुराना फोटो निकालेगा तो आपको बहुत sad लगेगा. Even if you take out a 5-year-old picture, you'll realize that you've grown old. Okay, but if you see yourself in the mirror, you never feel you're getting old. But the fact remains that we are aging. And if we are aging, we need to prepare ourselves. Third is love for active income. And this is a very unfortunate thing, although passive income is so good, but we are brought up in schools and colleges and everywhere where there is a race. हमको क्लास में फर्स्ट आना है, अव्वल नंबर लेके आना है. We want to be the topper. If I am working in a company, I have to work the best. Okay, so we are taught like this, that हमको काम करना है, हमको best doctor बनना है, best architect बनना है, हमको best, और best बनने के लिए मुझे काम करने की जरूरत पड़ेगी. Okay, but can you imagine cricket team में अगर एक ही आदमी बोलेगा मुझे best बनना है और मुझे best बनना है, can that cricket team go anywhere? They will not be able to go. They will not be able to do anything. Okay, because life में later on we realize what Swami sir teaches in UFP about team. Later on we realize in life that team is everything. Okay, and when it is team, first होना की बात ही नहीं है. Together we have to be first. But this is never taught to us in life. Okay, therefore we fall in love with our active income. Everybody wants to be hero. Okay, but this is not possible in a world that everybody can be hero. Okay, but therefore active income is very, very important. I need to earn more salary than you. I need to earn, my practice should be better than yours. Okay, and this mindset is there. Okay, these are all challenges. Not understanding the changing dynamics. Okay, we are reading the news of people getting sacked, but tomorrow we forget it. So by the time day after tomorrow तक तो याद ही नहीं रहता है, क्योंकि हमको हुआ नहीं है ये. Okay, so in fact people have forgotten pandemic only. I'm very sure a lot of people have forgotten कि pandemic आके गया. जब वो 2-2.5 साल इतना तकलीफ देके गया, पर फिर भी लोग भूल जाते हैं. Okay, and living in the past, this is something, you know, जो पहले हुआ है. Okay, just like in mutual funds, we say, na, past does don't go by the past returns or the past results, because that is not going to play out in the future. The same holds good for your and my life also. Okay, when I was studying in college, it was very clear. आप engineering करो, okay, आपको job चाहिए, उसकी job मिल जाएगी. उसके बाद MBA करो, job मिल जाएगी. तो engineering, medicine और MBA ऐसे 3-4 चीज थे. Okay, और science पढ़ना है. कई लोग, I see many of my friends will tell their children today also, आप science पढ़ो, आप engineering करो, medicine करो, not realizing that the world has changed. And in fact, if you go and see slowly, science is the least demand today as compared to other fields. More educational areas and channels are opening up, but a lot of people live in the past. So because of this, when you live in the past, you think of goals, you think of marriage, you think of education. Okay, you think, and like it's very simple. अभी आप किसी को देखेंगे तो BCom अगर कोई लड़का, if somebody has done a graduation, तो लोग पूछेंगे आप आगे का क्या पढ़ाई करोगे? क्योंकि living in the past, आप 2 साल कर लो पढ़ाई MBA, फिर आपको पूछना भूल जाएंगे. Nobody will ask you. आप बस 2 साल करो. But today what's happened is you need to study for throughout your life, because everything is changing. आप कोई job join करते हो, आपने just whatever you have learned and you have brought it to that job, that becomes irrelevant in the next 2 years. So again, you need to learn something to continue in that job. So this is exactly why a lot of youngsters are getting jobs, and they're throwing and all the people who are not learning, who don't have a learning mindset, they're getting irrelevant, and then they're losing their job. So this is all that is happening to challenge financial freedom. I just hope I'm on time. 1 minute. I'm just taking a stock of time. It's 7:30. Okay. So somebody just warned me around 8 o'clock, so that I'll time myself accordingly. So why financial freedom? Why it is required? Okay, I told you about the challenges. It is required because uncertainty has become the certainty of life. Too much of change is happening. I just told you about change. A reduction in career spans. मतलब आप today people are actually while हम लोग जब job join करते हैं तो 60 years का retirement होता है, 58 का होता है. You go to any corporate today, वहाँ पे 50 साल के ऊपर के लोग दिखेंगे नहीं आपको. For some reason or the other, उनको either वो frustrated होके निकल गए हैं, उनको निकाला गया है, उनको indirectly निकाला गया है. Something or the other has happened. शायद you'll hardly get 2 or 3% or 5% people in the age above 50. In some old type of companies like a Birla and Tata, you may get 10 to 15%, but that is reducing. Okay, people are getting, मतलब उनका limit is about 40-45. Job insecurity. So if you lose your job at the age of 40, you forget about getting a new job. So I always tell people, if you are above 40 and you are doing a job, अगर आपको job इतना पसंद है तो उसको पकड़ के रखो, because this is 100% your last job. Okay, and then of course on the other side, longevity is there. No doubt people are dying also early, but people are also living for long. And when you do planning, हम ये सोच के planning नहीं कर सकते कि मैं जल्दी मर जाऊंगा. हमको ये सोच के planning करना पड़ेगा कि मैं अगर जिंदा रहा तो क्या. Okay, so planning तो करनी ही पड़ेगी for high longevity. And of course, the need to earn passive income so that you can look after yourself. Okay, so a lot of positive things are there if you do financial. Okay. Okay, now we come to the discovery part, you know, what I was talking about. Current financial freedom goal depends on, one is your current standard of living. Second, expected interest rates, expected inflation, number of years of number of years of cash flow desired, and of course some current amount of wealth and the wealth or investments. Now इसमें क्या है ना, expected interest rates हमारे control के बाहर है, हम assume करते हैं. Expected inflation rates थोड़ा बहुत control के बाहर है, हम assume कर सकते हैं. We can have a reasonable assumption. Number of years तो बढ़ ही रहा है. पहले retirement planning में number of years was 25 or 20. Okay, now it is 40. You plan for 40 years. Okay, and of course, you know how much money you have, but current standard of living is one of the most controllable parts. You can control this. Others are many uncontrollable. How much wealth I have, अभी अगर my parents are rich और किसके parents rich है तो उनको पैसा पड़ा है तो they are rich. अगर कोई somebody is coming from a very rich background, wealthy family, they will have wealth. Somebody who doesn't come, so that's also not in my control. Okay, so these are things that financial freedom depends on, and this is the study I had done, and I got something very interesting in that study. So just like I told you, uncontrollable factors are these, and controllable factor is standard of living that I can manage. And what is the big desire today? So desire should not be मैं 15-20 साल में financially free होता हूँ, मैं जितना जल्दी financially free हो सकता हूँ, that should be the desire, because of the change and uncertainty. Okay. Now, I discovered something very, very interesting, which I will discuss with you. It's a business opportunity, of course, but it is also an opportunity to help people. So we have LMC is a lower middle class, because I don't want you to guess, because wo nahi kar paoge guess. So it's a lower middle class. We are discussing about lower middle class and upper middle class. Most of us perhaps are dealing a lot with upper middle class, and we are thinking that lower middle class is not a segment which is that big or not worth it. Okay, sometimes we feel, but I was watching some YouTube videos, and I was reading, and I suddenly realized a very, very big insight, and we will discuss about that. And here onwards, whatever I'm going to discuss is something very new, and I would request you to pay attention. Okay, see, if you look at this particular curve over here, see, whenever there is a curve that curves like this, मतलब suddenly वो curve मारता है, जैसा power of compounding. आप SIP करते जाओ, मैं गारंटी देके बोलता हूँ, अभी there was a slide shown by भावेश जी कि लोग 4 या 5 साल का SIP करते हैं, पर 5 साल का SIP में पैसा बन ही नहीं सकता, because in 5 years SIP, a very small part of the money has stayed for 5 years. In fact, only one part has stayed for 5 years. Everything has stayed for 1 month less, and subsequently like that. So 5 years में SIP में पैसा बनता ही नहीं. Okay, in lump sum कुछ तो बन सकता है. Okay, in SIP you require at least 7-8 years. But then suddenly the curve will go up like this. This is a similar curve. I've called it life transforming 180 months magic. Okay, so you'll understand this when I show you the Excel sheet also. What this curve shows is basically that ये 16-18 जो है ना, these are number of years of financial freedom. ये 2, 4, 6 ये number of years of financial freedom है, जो y axis में है. Okay, and the x axis जो है ना, it is lifestyle cost. मतलब मैं main साल का कितना खर्चा करता हूँ. Okay, तो इससे I don't know, I can't, unfortunately I would love to interact with you all, but मेरा for some reason my chat I'm not seeing. I don't know why I'm not seeing the chat. I would like to know from you that what do you understand from this? Can anybody write on a chat box, and if Abhilash or someone or Vikas can tell me what they're writing. When a curve goes like this, on the x-axis you have cost of living. 5 lakhs per year, 6 lakhs per year, 3 lakhs per year, 10, 12 lakhs per year. And on the y-axis, number of freedom months. Okay, number of freedom years, 6 years, 8 years, 10 years, 12 years, 16 years, like that. So can anybody in the chat box write that what do you understand? And this curve that it curves so fast and becomes flat. Okay, उसके बारे में नहीं पूछ रहा हूँ, मोटा आपको क्या समझ में आता है इसमें से? Can anybody write in the chat box, and if Vikas can just read it for me, or somebody can read it for me.
Yeah, Vinit Baldeva says lower the standard of living, higher the financial freedom years to enjoy.
Absolutely, absolutely. See, what happens is whenever we are calculating, people who have done CFP and who know time value of money calculations, हम जब पीएमटी निकालते हैं, हम लोग क्या करते हैं कि आज का खर्चा मल्टीप्लाई बाय द रेट ऑफ इन्फ्लेशन रेज टू द पावर नंबर ऑफ इयर्स। किधर भी रेज टू द पावर आता है ना, तो वो जो फंक्शन होता है ना, वो बहुत सेंसिटिव होता है। Okay, 2 into 2 is 4, 2 into 3 is 6, but 2 raised to the 2 raised to the power 2 is 4, 4 raised to the power, so that like that raised to the 4 into 4 is 16. So the moment you get into this raised to the power, okay, it becomes very fast, becomes very big, the requirement. So जब cost of living बहुत जल्दी बढ़ जाता है, because वो raised to the power number of years होता है। हर साल में inflation से पैसा बढ़ता है, it is compounding only. सेम फंड ऑफ कंपाउंडिंग, हर साल में भी इन्फ्लेशन में पैसा बढ़ता है, मल्टीप्लाई बाय नंबर ऑफ इयर्स 15 साल तो बहुत बढ़ेगा। और अगर आपको 20-25 साल का फ्रीडम चाहिए तो बहुत बढ़ेगा वो, बिकॉज एवरी ईयर इन्फ्लेशन आता है। ओके, सो दैट इज व्हाई मैनेजमेंट ऑफ कॉस्ट ऑफ लिविंग प्लेज अ वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट रोल। वी विल सी हाउ इट वर्क्स प्रैक्टिकली ऑल्सो। ओके, बट यू नीड टू फर्स्ट अंडरस्टैंड दैट अगर किसी को फाइनेंशियल फ्रीडम चाहिए तो पहला चीज जो है, he has to manage his cost of living. Okay, for a higher middle class जो एस्पायर करता है और जो 2 लाख रुपया का लाइफस्टाइल जीना चाहता है, उसको 1 लाख का लाइफस्टाइल जीना पड़ेगा। ओके, जो 1 लाख का जीता है और अगर उसके पास इनफ पैसा नहीं है और इनफ फ्लो नहीं है, कैश फ्लो, he has to think of living a 75,000 rupees life. Because if you want financial freedom in 10 to 15 years, that is, you have to do that. And once you get a financial freedom, you have at least another 25, 30, 40 years to enjoy life and to be in peace and to do what you wish to do. Okay, so we'll see further. Excel sheet जब दिखाऊंगा आपको बहुत beautifully समझेगा ये. So let me show you the calculator that I have created for you all. ये दिख रहा है अभी विकास?
Yeah.
Excel sheet?
Yes, yes.
हाँ, तो ये बड़ा इंटरेस्टिंग कैलकुलेटर है एक्सेल शीट में, और मैं ये क्यों कर रहा हूँ आपको बता रहा हूँ। वो लेट मी गो बैक नाउ यू कैन सी द, कैन यू सी द दिस थिंग पावर पॉइंट और व्हाट आर यू सीइंग राइट नाउ?
ना इट्स मोर सेंसिटिव फैक्टर वाला स्लाइड दिख रहा है।
हाँ, मोर सेंसिटिव फैक्टर वाला स्लाइड है ना। तो यहाँ पे मैं बिफोर शोइंग यू द कैलकुलेटर आई वांट टू टेल यू समथिंग वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग ऑब्जर्वेशन अबाउट पीपल हु आर लोअर मिडिल क्लास एंड हाउ देयर लाइफ इज। See, if you look at observe lower middle class today, people who work in our house, people who work in our office, clerical staff, okay, people who are working in malls, people who are working in, with Flipkart, Swiggy, Zomato, बहुत सारे लोग बहुत काम कर रहे हैं, okay, and today if you look at a family and they live in chawls and they are very happy, they're living in chawls, okay, because they live in community, उनको community से बहुत उनकी आदत होती है, and they're very happy, they are not dying to live in a flat or something, okay, पर अगर आप इनके लाइफ देखोगे, मैं ये ड्रॉ कर रहा हूँ, everyone forgive me for my quality of drawing, okay, I don't even have a pen, I thought I will make this a little more interesting, but फिर भी आपको आइडिया आएगा। So let's say this family, this person is earning 20K, okay, everybody in their family is earning at least 20 to 25K. In some family, people are also earning 50, 60K. Okay, so let's say we take an average of 20, 25, and again we take an average of about, let's say 25, the youngster working in a mall. अगर आप ये सारे देखोगे, so this is how much, 40, almost 90K in a month. This is what they are, 90,000 in a month. This is what many people are earning. It could be 50,000, it could be 40,000. But the magic is these people are still spending 20,000 per month for their living and for their food. Okay, they go to the hospital, like in my area, there's KM hospital, which looks after them. There are no expenses there. They are spending 20,000. I know people who are spending 15,000 also. Okay, now here you see, against 20K, they are having a 90K with them. Maybe if not 90K, they'll be having 40K. Okay, now tell me, this is what I'm, do you in the chat box, please write, do you agree that this is the scenario today? In the chat box, please write, and I'll ask Vikas to help me again.
Yes, yes, many people says, almost everyone says yes, agree.
In fact, Pradeep Chaudhary is sitting, and he made a call to me the other day, बोलता कि मेरा जो servant है, उसके घर पे 2 लोग 75,000 कमाते हैं. और वो कुछ 25 कमाते हैं, तो नियरली 2 लाख का इनकम है. Okay, so now listen, this is so interesting and this is where the very big opportunity is there. Now let me go to calculator. अब ये calculator दिख रहा है अभी?
Yeah.
अच्छा, तो मैंने calculator में क्या बताया है, I'll just show you that here मैंने शुरू किया है 50. अगर कोई यहाँ से 15 साल के बाद 50 लाख का कॉर्पस बनाता है, ओके, और मैंने रियल रेट ऑफ रिटर्न 5% रखा है, और आज अगर उसका कॉस्ट 1.8 लाख से पर मतलब टुडे वो 15,000 का पर मंथ का खर्चा कर रहा है. ओके, ही इज वन ऑफ द पर्सन फ्रॉम द लोअर मिडिल क्लास. उसका 15 साल के बाद वो 3.2 लाख होगा, और उस 15 साल के बाद अगर 50 करोड़ का वो ही कैन क्रिएट कॉर्पस, उसको 27 साल का फ्रीडम मिलता है. और उसके लिए उसको एसआईपी सिर्फ 11,000 रुपए के करना पड़ते. आपने देखा कि इनके पास कभी कभी 20,000 करने का भी एसआईपी होता है, 25,000 करने का भी. अगर फैमिली कमाती है 50-60,000 और 20,000, तो दे हैव इजीली 20,000. बट आई हैव लुक्ड एट वेरी कंजर्वेटिवली. तो अगर मैं कॉर्पस बनाता हूँ 60, लेट्स से आई हैव अ कॉर्पस ऑफ 60 लाख, then the SIP becomes 14,000. Okay, that's not a very big thing, but look at 44 years of freedom. Who is getting freedom? Look at people who are spending 5 lakhs rupees in a year. People who are spending 5 lakhs rupees, only 8 years of freedom. People who are spending 12 lakhs in a year, which most of us, the EMI generation, okay, the EMI generation spends 12 lakhs rupees a year. Okay, now if I am spending 12 lakhs rupees a year, I get only 3 years of freedom. So that 12 lakhs rupees a year अगर मुझे spend करना है, I need 150. तो ये तो सब forever free हो गए, but फिर भी जो 12 लाख खर्चा करता है उसको 8 साल ही मिलता है at 150. So then you think of going to 200, मतलब 2 करोड़. Okay, 2 करोड़ करने पे भी 12 साल का freedom मिलता है. So then what happens? You now look at 3, and then your freedom becomes 22 years, थोड़ा reasonable. Okay, at least अगर आप 12 लाख नहीं खर्चा करते हो, 11 करते हो तो 26 साल का है, 10 लाख खर्चा करते हो तो 32 years का है, 9 लाख करते हो तो 44 years. This is थोड़ा reasonably good. Okay, but now you look at what SIP you require, 71,000 rupees. Okay, now the magic is upper middle class जो है, उनके पास, see they also don't have too much of money to invest, even if they're earning a lot. That we'll discuss that. So let me go back to 50. So just Vikas asked on chat, just please type whether you are understanding this concept. Whether you are understanding this concept.
Yes, sir. Many people saying yes.
So basically what I'm saying over here is that when we look at the lower middle class, don't think that they are people who can easily do 20,000 rupees SIP. And if they do 20,000 rupees SIP, यहाँ पे तो मैंने 15 साल में फाइनेंशियल फ्रीडम बताया है. तो ये अगर 22,000 का, अभी ये यहाँ पे 11,000 का SIP कर रहा है. Okay, so if this guy does an SIP of let's say 20,000 rupees, he will get free in half the number of years, but of 7.5 years. So the person who is spending only 1.8 lakhs per year, of course, he will get free much faster. The person who is spending, let's say 2.3 lakhs rupees in a year, इसके लिए क्या, he needs to have a corpus of let's say 70. तो ये 70 लाख में, so 3 years, 20 years का freedom हो गया. Okay, so and SIP is still 16,000 rupees. आप डबल करो SIP तो ये 180 months का 90 months में फ्री हो जाएगा. तो कहने का मतलब ये है कि जितने भी लोअर मिडिल क्लास के लोग हैं, दे आर वेरी वेल पॉइज्ड टुडे. दे एक्चुअली, अगर इनको डायरेक्शन और हेल्प चाहिए, इनको पता ही नहीं है, अब इनको SIP क्या है पता नहीं है, इनको कुछ पता नहीं है, पर अगर आप इनको बराबर समझाते हो ना, 7 to 10 years में the lower middle class people can become financially free. उसके बाद जो भी वो कमाएंगे, उसके बाद उनका स्टैंडर्ड ऑफ लिविंग बढ़ा सकते हैं, वो कुछ भी कर सकते हैं. But can you, no, none of the upper middle class can become financially free in 7 to 10 years. But lower middle class, so think of a person at 45 who's your maid. At the age of 60, she can retire because her cost of living is very low. The moment you increase your cost of living, financial freedom becomes a daunting task. So there's a huge segment over here, which is, and we are helping them. We are doing good. Sometimes I also think that अगर कोई 16,000 रुपया का SIP कर रहा है, okay, so it is about, let's say you will earn hardly 600, 700 rupees in that year, okay, or from your investment. आप भी 1,000 रुपया उसके लिए कर सकते हो SIP for 2 years, just to give. उसके लिए you can contribute 1,000 rupees also. You can contribute your profit because your profit is so small. But 2 years आप profit sacrifice कर लो. उसके बाद this money will be for 15 years. So this person also becomes a big client for you. So many interesting things can be done by just this understanding that lower middle class is moving towards middle class very fast, and they are not dying to increase their quality of life. They are happy and they are doing this. Okay, so this is a very important thing that I wanted to share with you all. Let me continue with the presentation. So basically, you do not need a massive corpus to enjoy the fruits of, okay, छोटे corpus से भी होता है, as long as you can manage your lifestyle expenses. So now let's come to the challenge of the upper middle class. Okay, this is also a target segment that we have. In fact, our core target segment is upper middle class. How do we explain things to them? What are their challenges? उनको क्या समझाना है? Okay, so let us look at, this is upper middle class working in the office. Again, I'll try to draw this for you. What happens in an upper middle class family versus lower middle class? So you have upper middle class mein, you will have, let's say you'll have 4 people over here. 1, 2, 3. This is an upper middle class family, okay? And 4. Now here what happens is, here we have one hero. Okay, one hero, he works for, let's say, Google. Okay, or for Facebook, or wherever. One hero we have who works, he earns a salary of, let's say, 3 lakhs rupees per month. Okay, 3 lakhs rupees per month versus the other person earning 20,000. और जब 20,000 rupees कमाते थे, the lower middle class, 4 people 80,000, उनको कोई income tax का चक्कर ही नहीं है, पूरा पैसा अपने पास. Okay, so that is very, very important thing. यहाँ पे क्या होता है? The wife, okay, the kids, okay, the kids, what are they? They have aspirations. They live with aspirations. इसको MBA करना है, हर एक को iPhone चाहिए, इनको अच्छा सा घर में रहना है. Okay, socially they want to move upwards. They want to have a good car. EMI pe gaadi lo, it should be like they are aspiring for BMW or aspiring for some good car from Skoda. So aspirations are big, but people who are earning are only 1% in such way. And these guys over here are studying. They study and they keep studying. And after graduation, they want to do some other course, not knowing what will happen with those course. But करना है. सब लोग चाहते हैं कि हम पढ़ाई करें तो पढ़ाई करते जाओ. Okay, so they want to keep studying. They are spending a lot of time, which they could have done something constructive just in campuses. Okay, and people, and they all want expensive gadgets. So now 3 lakhs का जो आदमी कमाता है, उसको जेब में आता होगा 2.2 lakhs tax वगैरह कटने के बाद. He must be clearly having an EMI spends of not less than 70K if you look at house plus car, etc. So what you are left with? So 2.2, matlab you are left with 1.5 lakhs. Am I right, Vikas?
Yeah.
And out of 1.5 lakhs, your quality of life will be at least 75K or maybe even 1 lakh. I will say 1 lakh quality of life. What is left? 50,000 to do SIP. Okay, you can do SIP 50,000. Utna hi paisa bacha SIP of doing 50,000. So let us go back and see, go back to the calculator. यहाँ पे अगर मेरे को 2 crore इकट्ठा करना है, मेरा SIP 47,000 का होता है. और 2 crore इकट्ठा करने में ये इंसान जो 12 लाख का जिंदगी जीता है, उसको सिर्फ 12 साल का फ्रीडम मिल रहा है. Okay, after spending 50,000 rupees, and 3 lakh कमाता है, और he has capacity to do 50,000 rupees SIP. और वो भी देखो कितना difficult है. So okay, like EMI से EMI में निकल गया ये, बचा 1.5, 1 लाख घर के खर्चे निकल गए, aspirations, foreign holidays, etc. You are left with, you are lucky 50,000 है. Honestly, ये भी difficult है. Even this is difficult. But still, look at the situation. आप 250 भी कमाने जाओ, तो इसको freedom 12 लाख वाले को freedom 16 साल का मिलता है. Okay, and यहाँ पे when we were only 50, these people got freedom 27, 15. So if forget, let's take 75 lakhs, which is 17,000 SIP. Okay, you got 32-year freedom, 22-year freedom, 17-year freedom, 14-year freedom. And there, when you are trying to make 250, these two people will always get freedom, which is a 59,000 rupees SIP. If you do a 59,000 rupees SIP, 16 years of freedom. So 16 years is inadequate. You need freedom for at least 25, 30 years. Okay, so of course, if you have lump sum, you have parental wealth, you have something like that, that will help. But if you look at it, if these kind of aspirations are there, and you are not mindful that one man is a hero today and he can become zero tomorrow. If this is the situation, what is the risk that the upper middle class is having? They definitely require our help to help them understand that how they can build. All they have to reduce. This is the only place. This big enemy is this. Big enemy is EMI. Very big enemy. Now you keep saying EMI is bad. Explain this to people. Use this calculator. Okay, so there's one more very important factor I want to talk to you. This is called the lifetime creep factor. Lifetime creep factor. What happens to upper middle class? कि upper middle class जो है ना, lower middle class का advantage भी क्या है कि उनका growth जो होता है वो limited होता है. So person who's working as a servant, okay, and today that person is, let's say, earning 20,000. वो suddenly 1 lakh तो नहीं कमाने वाले. Okay, 20 by inflation rate थोड़ा बढ़ते जाएगा. But जो एजुकेटेड आदमी MBA होके ज्वाइन करके बड़े कंपनी में काम करता है, तो पहले 2 साल में उसकी सैलरी 1 लाख हो सकती है, फिर सडनली वो 2, 2.5, 3 लाख पे चला जाता है. ओके, सो व्हाट हैपेंस इज, इनके जो लाइफस्टाइल है ना, इनकी इंक्रीमेंट बढ़ती जाती है. इंक्रीमेंट जब बढ़ती है, वो लाइफस्टाइल भी बढ़ता है. तो सपोजिंग अ यंगस्टर, आपने एक पर्सन एट, लेट्स से पर्सन अबाउट नॉट यंगस्टर, पर्सन अराउंड 30, उसके आपने प्लान बनाया है, रिटायरमेंट प्लान, फाइनेंशियल फ्रीडम प्लान, व्हाटएवर प्लान, एंड दैट पर्सन का प्लान बना हुआ है और वो प्लान के हिसाब से वो SIP कर रहा है. अब जब उसका द मोमेंट हिज इंक्रीमेंट स्टार्ट हैपनिंग, उसका क्वालिटी स्टैंड ऑफ लिविंग बढ़ते जाता है, उसका स्टैंड ऑफ लिविंग बढ़ते जाता है. ओके, और आपने उसकी रिटायरमेंट प्लान कर चुके हैं. यू हैव ऑलरेडी डन हिज फाइनेंशियल फ्रीडम प्लान, बट यू आर नॉट रियलाइजिंग फाइनेंशियल फ्रीडम प्लान वाज मेड इन द ओल्ड लाइफस्टाइल. अब हर साल उसका लाइफस्टाइल बढ़ रहा है. इसका मतलब क्या है? इसका मतलब यह है कि जिस दिन आप उसको फाइनेंशियली फ्री बताओगे, वो फाइनेंशियली फ्री नहीं होगा, क्योंकि तब तक उसका जो लाइफस्टाइल है, that will ensure that, मतलब suddenly it is like telling somebody जो गाड़ी में घूम रहा है कि कल से आप बस में जाओ, क्योंकि हमने जब ये प्लान बनाया था तभी आप बस में जाते थे, बट इन द मीनवाइल इसकी लाइफस्टाइल बढ़ चुकी है. सो हाउ मच परसेंटेज ऑफ योर ग्रोथ यू शुड plow back into your investment? This is what I'm going to show you right now. कितना percentage of the growth should go towards increasing lifestyle and how much percentage should come towards investment, so that वो वही टाइम पे रिटायर करेगा, और वो जब रिटायर करेगा, वो जो करंट लाइफस्टाइल जीता है तभी वही लाइफस्टाइल वो जी पाएगा. Vikas, can you ask in chat में, can you put down in chat whether you all have understood what I'm saying? I would like to know yes or no, if you could. This is the last part of my presentation.
Yeah, there are many yes.
So you understood, no? तो मेरा लाइफस्टाइल बढ़ रहा है. अगर मेरा इंक्रीमेंट 20% से हुआ है, how much percentage should go towards lifestyle enhancement and how much should come towards increasing investment? So there is this book that is written by this guy called Nick McGuiley, and he's a very nice author, because I started talking to him on Twitter and he replied also, because I wanted to understand what is little bit. I was a bit confused about what he was talking, but if you see this, he has made this chart. Okay, and it's a very, very interesting chart. The savings rate जो है इंसान का, अगर वो 5% सेव करता है, उसका आदत है 5% सेव करना है, तो हाउ मच ऑफ योर रेज यू नीड टू सेव इज 27%। अगर कोई इंसान है जो 40% सेव करता है, तो उसका रेस का 66% उसको करना है। ओके, दिस इज हाउ ही हैज डन द कैलकुलेशन। आपको थोड़ा कंफ्यूजन लगेगा, बट आई डोंट, इट लुक्स वेरी कॉम्प्लिकेटेड बिकॉज हायर द सेविंग रेट, why am I saving my increment more? Okay, because your saving rate is very high and you are spending less money. Okay, now if you start you're spending less money, so by bringing 79% as your saving, I'm ensuring that you continue to spend less money. Okay, so if my saving rate was 60%, means I'm saving a lot of money, I'm not spending too much. Hence, I have to put 79% of my growth also with me, so that मेरा वो part disturb ना हो जाए, मेरा lifestyle बहुत बढ़ ना जाए. Okay, फिर again उसी दिन इसको, so this is why he has done this. It looks a bit complicated, but उसने simple formula बताया कि आप ये सब मत tension मत लो, just go by a simple formula. Okay, so this is something I was discussing with him on Twitter, and he explained to me, because he has done it with trial and error simulation से किया हुआ है ये. But अगर आपको simple language में समझना है, client को बताना है, forget about that chart. 50% of your increment you spend the money, because most people, he says, most people, he says, will be having saving rate of around 20 to 25% in this range. Okay, so if this is the range he assumes, he says 50% of your increment you save towards your retirement planning, financial freedom, and 50% you spend it on a better quality of life. So we are not saying that don't increase your quality of life, but don't put the entire increment to increasing your quality of life, because that will mess up your retirement plan. It will mess up your freedom plan. Okay, so 50% of your growth goes towards better quality of life, and 50% goes towards higher SIP or investment, so that it meets your retirement goals. Did you understand this? Can you please put it in the chat?
सर बुक का नाम जरा एक बार स्क्रीन पे फिर से लेके आइए.
ये है सर, बुक का एक ही पेज पढ़ के मैं इतना लंबा प्रेजेंटेशन बनाया है.
क्या बात है.
तो आपको तो एंड मैं तो इनसे बात भी किया, निक मैक्यूली से ऑन ट्विटर. He explained a lot of things. This is थोड़ा difficult to understand, but again I'm trying to help you to understand. If I am saving 60%, मतलब मैं बहुत पैसा बचाता हूँ, तो मैं कम पैसा खर्चा करता हूँ, 40% खर्चा करता हूँ. ओके, तो मेरी लाइफस्टाइल कंट्रोल में है. ओके, ऐसा ही आदमी का अगर इंक्रीमेंट होता है, तो अगर 79% बचाता है, 79% बचाता है, मतलब 21% खर्चा करता है वो. बिकॉज मैं चाहता हूं क्या उसका खर्चा ही कम हो. अगर 79% डालेगा तो उसका जो इक्वेशन है पूरा बिगड़ जाएगा. इसका लाइफस्टाइल इतना बढ़ जाएगा कि जब वो रिटायर होगा वो लाइफस्टाइल जी नहीं पाएगा. ओके, सो दैट इज हाउ दिस लॉजिक वर्क्स. बट इन सिंपल लैंग्वेज, 50% आप उसका इंक्रीमेंट का सेव कर दो, इन्वेस्ट कर दो, और 50% से लाइफस्टाइल बढ़ाओ. So I am now concluding, and it's 8:04 because I have kept time for everything.
Yes, yeah.
So we will take questions after the announcements, if at all there are any questions. This calculator is available. I'll open a group. People who join the group, we will give the calculator to them. The importance of financial freedom, I told you that why financial freedom is important. The world, the society is changing. Old goals are becoming irrelevant. New goals are becoming relevant. Okay, and we are seeing layoffs, etc. So financial freedom is very important. Changing goal scenario we discussed. Lifestyle cost is the single most important factor. I showed you the curve. It's just like an SIP curve. 7 साल कुछ नहीं होता है, अचानक पैसा बढ़ने लगता है. Similarly, यहाँ पे अगर आप लाइफस्टाइल को कंट्रोल करोगे तो बहुत फ्रीडम मिलता है, पर लाइफस्टाइल को इंक्रीज करना शुरू करो तो अचानक नंबर ऑफ इयर्स ऑफ फ्रीडम कम हो जाता है. तो आपको बहुत ज्यादा कॉर्पस बनाना पड़ेगा और बहुत ज्यादा इन्वेस्टमेंट करना पड़ेगा. ओके, सो दिस इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट फॉर लोअर मिडिल क्लास एंड अपर मिडिल क्लास. लोअर मिडिल क्लास को जरूरी है कि कोई उनको समझाए कि आप जितना कमाते हो, काफी कमाते हो, आपका लाइफस्टाइल कॉस्ट काफी कम है. अगर आप सही ढंग से इन्वेस्ट करोगे तो लोअर मिडिल क्लास भी 20,000 का SIP दे सकती है एंड आपको 7 to 12 years में you'll become financially free. If you can explain this to them, that money will certainly come to you and it will be sticky money. They will need you. Nobody is helping them to understand, and I don't know where they are putting this money. But it's very important that you guide them. It's a huge segment. People who are not very rich in this segment. अब अगर कोई आदमी फैमिली 60,000 कमाती है और 20,000 का SIP करेगी क्योंकि 20,000 का खर्चा है, वो ठीक है. कई लोग होते हैं जो कमाते भी कम कमाते हैं, वो लोग समझ लो वो लोग they are earning 30-40,000 और उसमें से उनको निकालना पड़ता है 10-12,000. You can say that for the first few years you can forgo your profit of that SIP because ऐसा भी कितना कमाओगे, साल का ही you'll earn hardly 1,000 rupees. Okay, तो आप on the contrary you put 1,000 rupees instead. You say I don't want to make any money. 1,000 rupees from my side for you, I'll do SIP. So you can do social work also. Okay, upper middle class challenge is very dangerous because people think they are more rich than what they really are. एक आदमी कमाता है, एक ही हीरो है, वो जीरो हो सकता है. ओके, और बच्चे जो है एस्पायर करते जाते हैं, वाइफ भी एस्पायर करती जाती है. Too many dependents, one person earning, even if the salary is high, standard of living is so high that financial freedom is very far. They need to be educated. Okay, lifestyle creep, मतलब slowly जब आपको इंक्रीमेंट मिलती जाती है, आपका लाइफस्टाइल बड़ा होते जाता है. और अगर आप पूरा इंक्रीमेंट जो मिलता है, अगर पूरा लाइफस्टाइल बढ़ाने में लगा दो, तो जो फाइनेंशियल फ्रीडम आपको मिलेगा वो इनएडिक्वेट होगा, क्योंकि यू वुड बी बाय दैट टाइम ट्रैवलिंग इन फॉरेन कार BMW एंड द एडवाइजर विल टेल यू दैट कल से आप मारुति गाड़ी चलाओ, यू एल्टो चलाओ. Okay, it is very difficult to absorb that. So if you want to manage that well, 50% put that money towards lifestyle increase, 50% back into investment. This also increases your business. This also helps the client to understand how he can manage his life. So with this, I have come to my end of my presentation.